Welcome on board, Mr. Festus.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, so how come this amount of voters were delisted? But before you go to that, how many people were registered? Before you delisted 1.1 million, how many people were registered?
You know that the registration was segmented and segregated.
Yeah.
Now, the figure we released for this particular period was the figure of those who registered between the 28th day of June 2021 and the 14th day of January 2022. Out of this figure, over 2 million registered, and out of that particular figure, we had to delete over 1 million. This is because they engaged in what we call double or multiple registration. Now, if you recall, going into the 2019 general election, we already had over 84 million voters. So the implication is that when we open this continuous voters registration exercise, the only persons who were qualified, legally qualified to register, are those who have never registered before and those who turned 18. So these are the only two classes of persons that were qualified to register. Every other individual, if you have lost your PVC or your PVC is defaced or you want to do transfer, your data is already in our database. So the only thing you do is to do transfer, and the only thing you do is to get us to print another PVC for you.
Now, when you sorry to come in like that. Now, when people are not really aware of all you're explaining now, I know that you guys took a lot of time. You came on radio over and over explaining these things. But then, out of let's say 2 million, you now have 1 million delisted. It's like almost half, or if not half, of the number of people who went to register again. So what will be their fate right now? Because they do not know that they should rather go and change their name or move their voting area to another place. What will be their fate?
We made it very clear.
But it's certain right now that even with your clarity, people didn't get it.
No. Even when people get to the point of registration, our registration officer still asks them, have you ever registered before? Have you attained the age of 18? Is your PVC lost? So that they can be properly advised. But some people thought our systems were not robust enough to detect it. So some people who left their PVCs in the village, rather than go to the village to go and collect their PVCs, they went and registered afresh. And some people whose PVCs were defaced, rather than tell us the truth that their PVCs are defaced, so that we can get a new one for them, went and registered afresh. And now some also registered afresh for commercial purposes. In one of the states where I visited, I heard that the politician was giving some people 3,000 naira if they can show a slip that they have registered. So some people engage in multiple and double registration based on that particular fact. I also agree that there were some people who registered afresh out of ignorance.
Yeah.
But what we have done is to leave the previous registration and then cancel the fresh registration. Now, you see, this figure we released is based on the figure for the period I have just enumerated. When we release the final figure relating to all the registrations that has been done, you can see that the figure of those who were delisted will be definitely higher. So we want to have a very robust register. We don't want people to be parading multiple BPCs and also pretending as if they can go and vote multiple times without being detected. And so that's exactly what we are doing.
Wow, interesting. Now, some Nigerians actually feel disgruntled, right? And this is as a result of the issues that, came up during the CVR, which caused many people not to get registered. And some of them also accuse the commission of conniving with politicians to disenfranchise some parts of the country. What's your response to this?
Now, my response is very, very simple. This CBR started the 8th day of June 2021, and we told Nigerians that we are going to end on the 30th day of June 2022, over a period of 1 year. Now, during this particular period, sometimes our registration officers register a single individual a day. Sometimes they register just 10. But there is an issue, there's a Nigerian factor to some of these things. We wait till the last minute before we do what we are supposed to do. Now, after the end of 30th day of June 2022, we extended the registration to the 34th day of July. The moment we announced the extension, people went and then returned again a week to the end of the period. I don't think that is the attitude we must carry to our everyday life. It is something that we must change. Now, in the places where people complain that some commission were conniving with politicians to disenfranchise them, in all those places, we carried that investigation and we found out that there was no truth. There was no truth in what people were saying. Now, a registration officer can register up to 200 persons a day. But when you close the market and ask over 10,000 people to go to one registration center that can register only 200 people a day, the implication is that there will be breakdown of plan, or that there will be chaos, there will be a confusion. And that was exactly what happened in some of these places. And so what we did was that we pleaded with market leaders and we did a rotation. We were rotating the PBC in some of these places. We went to schools, we went to hospitals, we went to media houses, and so on and so forth. We even took the registration to the organizations and institutions and commissions that have a large concentration of persons. So I believe that we did the best we can in the circumstance. Anybody who did not get an opportunity of registering now, the moment the 2023 election is over, we will recommence the CBR, and the people will have an opportunity of getting their name on the register.